All right. Good morning, everyone. Happy Wednesday. NASDAQ gapping higher. Another gap higher. Okay. Yeah, another gap higher. NASDAQ has nearly retested that all-time high. So yesterday, actually some pretty nice selling yesterday. Price almost tested last week's volume point of control down near 28,688. Buyers stepped in pretty aggressively, big bullish engulfing bar there on the hourly, and then never looked back, retracing almost the entire sell during the regular session. Then of course overnight just continued higher, pushed up about 30 points shy of the all-time high or so, and is now trading near the prior day high. So we continue to, for the most part, only have reference points to work with this morning. All, of course, be watching and focused on the prior day high in NASDAQ as my primary level this morning. That is 29296. 29296 right through here. That's also your weekly open and overnight volume point of control right through there as well. So that's the focus for this morning. Yeah, nice V-shaped recovery there yesterday. Wow. For this week so far, volume point of control is up near 400. About 3 minutes till the open. Economic data today, anything? We had PPI, of course. Just some Fed speak for today. That's about it. Okay, and can you please describe how you're able to copy trade across 80 accounts? Well, I'm not currently trading 80 accounts. We're just shy of 30, but you could use trade copying software to link them all together. So, in a nutshell, that's how I do it. That's how we're doing it. We're pushing for 80. I want to see a market not at all-time highs before I start to add more accounts. Because with how frequently I've been trading, I mean, last week there was one trade. So why add more right now? Is kind of my thought process. Okay. 30 seconds till the open. So prior day high, main focus right now. Let's see if we get a decent setup today. Do, 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 do. There's your opening print, 286. Okay, initially lower. Value area low, 200. Prior day volume point of control, 170. Prior day close, 125. Staying patient right here. I'm looking at either prior day high, or if price is going to move lower, I'll be looking at overnight low. Volume tapering down. Nasdaq back into the lows. Replicanto. Yeah, I've never used that. I don't know anything about Replicanto. Nasdaq fresh lows being made 29,200. You have ES coming into overnight low. The good old S&P. Gonna be one of those mornings. Hurry up and wait. Fresh lows coming into prior day volume point of control right now. Decent volume off the open this morning. So that is encouraging. Gap is already filled. No gap fill till prior day close. 29,124. Gabe waiting for overnight low. Yeah, same page personally. So far, a little bounce versus prior day volume point of control. How we closed was 29,174. You might be looking at the extended hours. I'm talking about the regular sesh. Regular session close is what I consider the close, personally. So it's going to be 29,124. Woo. There we go. A little 2x RVOL right there. Test and reject at VWAP. Fresh lows, NASDAQ. Nice rejection at VWAP. For the 2-hour trader framework enjoyers, For the THT, Andreas on the extended weekend. Nice. It's only Wednesday though. How's your weekend? Make it into Wednesday. How's that work? Here's that prior day close. Here's prior day close. 29,124. Yeah, that's true, Rich. That's true. All right, here comes the overnight low. Let's see what we're working with down here. Let's see. Let's see. Don't tell me they front run that overnight low. The front runners. This is value area low for the week so far. Nice volume down here. 2x RVOL down here. A little bounce. Yeah, no entry. No entry. 8 minutes till 10 a.m. Does nice work. Heck yeah. So NASDAQ, a little bounce here versus the weekly value area low with overnight low right in that area. I was looking for the spring, as you know. No spring setup. So still just cash. Just chilling. We got 6 minutes till 10 a.m. Nice bounce. Real nice bounce there. 4 till 10. No data at 10. Let's see if there's another lower high in the making for NASDAQ. CL up into prior day high. Okay, a little bounce there, small little bounce there for prior day volume point of control. So letting this structure continue to build out. I was looking for either action above prior day high or the spring setup at overnight low. So far, neither has materialized. So just chilling, staying patient. It's now 10 a.m., 30 minutes in. Volume has been really good this morning. So we'll see if we could get a setup. Patiently wait for that setup. CL is flying now. Up through overnight high. Oh, Pratik, nice. Looks like Chrissy's in there with you. Nasdaq just sitting on that value area low for the week. Please explain setup. I have no setup right now. Still cash this morning. Jeff, nice. A little bit of chop here past 5 or 10 minutes. Ice maker green, but not happy with your performance. It's a good time to shut it down and review. Still cash here on my end. Icemaker taking trades not part of the plan. Got to get a handle on that, sir. Yeah, the impulse control. Okay, so another lower high potentially in the making now. So we're open, lower high, lower high, lower high. Value area low for the extended hours. Big volume in oil, CL. Simple as that, Chrissy. Exactly. Exactly. It's like that guy in here last week that's like, it's obviously a long. Like, wow, thank you. I hadn't considered. Had not considered that. Do, do, do. Trade markets off the chart and trading view ice maker. Maybe someone in the chat can help out because I'm not sure about that. I've never once connected a broker to trading view personally. You have free live data, Howie? Is that so? I did not know that. That may be worthwhile then. Man, I've been paying market data for forever. Oh wow, shit. All right. Thanks. That's a good tip. Yeah, I'm gonna have to set that up. For trading at Torval, yeah, I wouldn't trade through Trading View. How big is the farm? Farm's at 28 right now. 28. If we have more activity this week, I'll add another FIO. Well, last week I was here every day. I only placed one trade. So adding accounts is adding leverage, right? If the market's slow, there's no reason to ex- expand the farm at all. Like there's just no reason. We had a trade Monday, one trade yesterday. See if we get one today. Execution lag and trading view. Yeah, that's not gonna fly. I always wondered about the latency there. Crazy discipline. Yeah, it's just really comes down to being committed to trading the system, making sure that I'm trading my edge. So it was a good test of patience. But I know when I deviate from my system, I know what happens. I've already learned that lesson 1,000 times. So we'll just stick with it. Recognize that the regime is a little different at all time highs trading. No levels of interest, which is where my best edge is, and just some fairly thin reference points to work with. So with no levels of interest, no LOIs, and then only a couple of thin reference points. It's like I need price at the reference points, and then if price is at the reference points and it doesn't give the setup, that's the day. The day's done with nothing. And that's kind of what we're seeing so far this morning. Wanted the overnight low spring. That did not materialize. Not yet, anyway. Or structure at prior day high. Still waiting to see if that sets up. How do you change your train because of the regime change? So at all-time highs, for me, it's just a matter of doing less. There's no actual setups within my playbook that even develop. So it's just a matter of recognizing that the setups aren't there, and I'm not going to trade. If the setups were there, I would be hitting them for sure. The challenge is that when you show up every day and then no setups materialize within your playbook, it can be frustrating, and the temptation to deviate starts to creep in. And that's where, at least in my experience, I have done lasting damage to my results. Like you can really set yourself back weeks or months by system deviation. Because basically it's like a small, like typically you won't notice it in one day. So what we were talking about last week is how price would just break the prior day high or break the overnight high and rip, not give you any setup. And what I had said was is going to condition a lot of traders to just be buying the break of the overnight high, which is a setup that does not frequently work in the index because the index is mean reverting. So if you get conditioned to do that over and over again, the first day you think it's fine because you made money, so you get a little shot of dopamine. The feedback loop in your brain is like, "Oh, I did something good. I made money." Even though if that setup was not in your system or within your playbook, then technically that is a deviation. So that's going to work probably for a few weeks, and then all of a sudden it's not. And you're going to be like, what the hell happened? And you may or may not figure out that you deviated from your system depending on how good your trade review process is and how good your record keeping is. That was like a lot of the work I did with one-on-one clients was just identifying those system deviations. Done that plenty of times, John. Yeah, I think we've all been there. The conditioning, yeah, exactly. Because you see it work like you see it work. But we saw it last week, like pretty much every day. You see it work. You're like, all right, that worked yesterday. I will just try it today. Let's try it. We'll just try it. And then it's like you don't have it in your playbook. You just see kind of a pattern that is working. You don't really have rules defined around it. Something that you may not be totally familiar with trading. There's a lot of moving parts. with long-term consistency in trading. And once you have your system down on paper, once you have your edge written down or you understand it in depth, the job is to be an operator of that system. That's the human component. Got to operate the system. And so we as traders become the weakest link in the system just because we're human. We have emotions and all that, all the rest. Andres, how well you defined your system. Yeah, that's key as well. That is key. All-time high is the worst environment for newer traders. Yeah, it's definitely a tough one. No real structure to work with. Price tends to just drift. Like a lot of the days are just drift higher. Teaches people to do like martingale strategy, like no stop loss, just add lower. It'll recover. Okay, a little intraday change of character here. Let's see how prior to AI is going to be treated. 29296. Don't mind the cardboard box in the frame. Got to pack up my office. Marlon, I'm good most days, but my bad days, I've wiped weeks of work in legit 20 to 30 minutes of bad decisions. Yeah. I think if you've been trading for more than 2 to 3 years, pretty much every trader has been there. I can certainly relate to that. I can absolutely relate to that. And that was a painful feeling. Boy, that is not fun. That is not fun. So let's see the highs. Nasdaq into 270. Pratik, yeah, we got a place. Lease is not technically signed yet. So we're waiting on that. It should be today. But yeah, we got the place. Finally, with like 2 weeks to go. So a little intraday resistance through here, right through this area. McGilly, nice work. Congrats. NQ this morning, I'm still cash. We're almost 1 hour into the sesh here. I'll need either overnight low or prior day high. For now, price is kind of sandwiched in between those two reference points. We have a bounce versus the weekly value area low. So maybe a new range will start to build. That would certainly be welcomed. Instead of this continued all-time highs trading. It's also the monthly value area high up there. I don't know if that just shifted or not, though. Little consolidation near the 29,250. ES is just shy of prior day high. It's like not too much happening in gold. CL pretty strong. Oil. YM session highs. Let's see. I haven't looked at Russell in a while. R2Y. R2Y looks like the weakest of the bunch. Trying to recover right now into VWAP. That R2Y. And volume kind of tapered down in NASDAQ here. So it's extended hours, volume point of control, and RTH value area high with VWAP right in this area as well. Okay, a little push here. See this 270 area break and then a new high of day. Nice extension above prior day high and then a retest with a perfect signal. Just shy of the highs. Session highs looks like 288.5. Nelson, my full chart layout is here. Volume really fell off below average. I'm sure this break of the highs will at least bring an uptick, but then we want to see if it sustains. NQ back into the 250s. Rem, glad to hear it. Thanks for tuning in. So NASDAQ, if price fails to hold this little spot right here, this might just be the range for today. Prior to high by overnight low, the two reference points I needed. So still basically watching for, from current price point, a scenario like this. And entry would be right through this area, right? Doesn't have to be from here, but anywhere. Break above prior to high, then a retest, or a sweep of the overnight low to trigger the spring setup. And the entry is down through there. There's two ideas that were in the plan this morning. So let's see a little more volume right now. Let's see. Do. A little consolidation here continues. Volume fell off. Yeah, seriously, big time. Where'd everyone go? Okay, back into the 280s. Let's get a clean break here. Yeah, Andre, Misha and Ray were on one this morning, going crazy in the Thinktank chat. Maximum espresso shots. That's what it seems like to me. ES also just consolidating here, right near session highs. Oil's finally pulling in. More consolidation on NASDAQ. The 5-minute just shows barcode here. Look how tight this range is compared to yesterday. Choo, 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 choo. Maybe afternoon is where we're going to shine. It's still pretty early. It's still pretty early. We're only a little more than an hour in. Let's see if NASDAQ gives us this break. Come on, let's get that break here. Give us the break. Give us the new high of day, Nasdaq. Give us that fresh high. Mm. 29,270. Oh, fresh high is better than high volume. They're different things. Different things. We need fresh highs before the prior day high setup is going to materialize. But the new high of day definitely could bring some volume in. Right now, we're just wait and see. Two 75s. 280s again. There we go. Come on. 285. Current high is 288. Okay, there's your new high of day. For NASDAQ, uptick in volume. Here's the prior day high. Let's see how prior day high is going to be treated now. So looking for an extension above. Then, of course, retest. There's 315. ES is also into prior day high right now. Coming into 11 a.m. A little more churn here near the 310s, 315s. Back into prior day high. Eh, let's see how this develops here. Not really much of an extension above. 320. God, I hope that was not the only retest. 325, 330. If that little baby shallow pullback was it. Tough. Tough, tough, tough. What do you think? Was that it? Is it gone now? We're into 11 a.m. A little uptick in volume here. 335s. 340. Yeah, even that even puts the shallow fib way down there still. Pullback from here would be much better. Pullback and retest from this area would be much, much better. More depth. What's up, Mish? Do, 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 do. So Nasdaq gave the little micro retest at the prior day high. These are for me, these are very, very tough unless volume is 3x RVOL. If we have 3x RVOL, I'm more inclined to try these little just this is basically like buying highs for the most part. You have a little foothold, a little just micro structure, retest of your level. And those trades can definitely be solid and they can work, but the condition I like for those very shallow pullbacks is huge volume, which is a requirement for a true momentum play. And I would consider this like basically a momentum entry. Price just tested 350, 29 350s. B-Link, we'll see you tomorrow. Thanks for tuning in. YM is into session lows. For any of the Dow traders, yeah. See, speaking of break and retest, look at this. That right there. Ooh, beautiful. This is CL. So yeah, a big extension above. Retest, nice and clean. Textbook. Very nice. Very nice. What a CL. See if NQ kind of delivers a setup here near 300. How's everyone's morning so far? How are we looking? It's a cash day for me so far. Got maybe one opportunity near the prior day high about to set up. A lot of cash. One and done, down 50, 2 for 4, cash. Yeah, it's been a pretty slow morning. Unless you're trading THT. There's definitely printing this morning. Let's see if I have any THT exposure. Oh yeah. APT. Wow. Almost stopped. Almost stopped out. And now into PT2. APT, let's go. Let's go. Hands free. Hands free. That's YM short. Nothing in NQ. Okay. All right. John 1 for 1. Nice. Yeah, last week, today, these are all-time highs. We're starting to get into summer. Summer is typically a slower trading period. So it's a good time to be working on your patience, on your discipline, on really letting that trade come to you. And there are going to be certain days and certain periods where it just feels boring, right? But we should not be getting any excitement. We should not be coming to the market for excitement. It's not a source of excitement. Okay, we're getting into 300. See how this starts to build out. Mhm. Volume still below average. So certainly not going to try to be the first one in here. Okay. What's my ATR right now? 10. Let's see if that's it. First peel. 3, 4, 5. 4, 5. Okay. And if the second peel is hit, I'll protect. Bang. Break this little intraday resistance. 335. Take the highs. Yeah, come on, get there. 45. Show me 45. No tomfoolery. No messing around. Yeah. Push. Mish, you there? You pushing? Notice how volume just, we had one little uptick at the prior day I retest and back below average. So to me, that suggests price action will be a little more drifty. Back into the 340s right here. Mhm. It's like a little response to the 350s during the overnight sesh. Okay. Come on, almost there, almost there. What is that? 40.25. 4 more points. 4 more points. Come on. That'll be it for me today after this. No volume in this thing. Nice, Dave. Well done. Well, glad to hear it, Dave. Heck yeah. Maybe get trailed out here. Call it a scalp and be done with it. There's just no volume in this thing at all. Below average. So below average volume, we have to expect that price will be a little choppier, a little sloppier, a little drifty, a little shifty. That's why this RVOL tool is essential. For me, it's essential. Okay, back into the 40s. There we go. Back in the 40s. There was 42.25. Come on. 2 points. You gonna rob me? You gonna rob me here? Another little rejection there near the 40s. Back in a 25. Good example right now why the volume so important. Below average volume, we just get some barcode. All right, so we'll take the trail. We'll take the scalp, and we will just call it a day. Very light day. Almost there. There it is. All right. The scalp for the day. 15 points, 20 points, entry near 15, exit near 35. That's a wrap. We'll call it right there. Basically, uneventful day. Uneventful, but importantly, had my plan, followed my plan. Wanted either overnight low spring, which probably would have been play of the day. That did not materialize. Buyers front ran that overnight low, those front runners. So no spring setup there. 2x RVOL. It was really clean bounce, just not the location that I wanted. And then we were waiting for structure at prior day high. This is too shallow. So we get the pullback here, take the entry, scale out, looking for 45 on the next peel before we let the runner do its thing. Did not materialize. All good. All good. We'll call it right there. Get rid of that. And there's the trade. Let's see if APT is still in that short. No, just trailed out. APT, monster short this morning, almost got stopped, hit PT2, then trails right here. Very nice. Solid morning, all things considered. Hope you guys had a good one. We'll keep it going in the Traders Think Tank as always. And I will see the rest of you tomorrow. Have a great rest of your day. Thanks for your time today.